Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. This week I wanted to bring up safety as I got not really lucky, but I was able to experience some safety stuff at my internship this past weekend. So my internship's going great. I love it. I'm doing the hospice internship, so I'm doing a lot of visits at a place called Springfield Health and Rehab because there's a very big amount of our patients that are there. I think there's 8 right now. One of the guys has been living there before for a bunch of other stuff, so he's been there, I think, 6 years. He's an older guy. He is in a wheelchair. He is on hospice for dementia, and he's can only hear out of one ear, and it's not very good. So when talking to him, I really had to get up close and use slow words so he could read my mouth too, and that's a challenge for me because I talk fast. But when we were communicating, it went well. But he definitely made me feel uncomfortable. Luckily, I was in a rehabilitation services place, so there's other nurses and LNAs around, so I was able to leave and not be rude or anything like that. He didn't do anything. He just said some things that were uncomfortable, and that was a spot for me that I felt like, okay, this is where I need to stop and step back. My supervisor talked to me about the importance of safety when I first met with her, before I met anyone, and during the little orientation I had to go through too, is that their safety piece is more about you're going into someone's home and you're going to be around someone else that you may or may not know, so you need to be careful on what they say and if that makes you feel uncomfortable or not. And they have had in the past, if someone did feel uncomfortable going into a home because someone just may have said something that maybe about religion that didn't match with you and just made you feel uncomfortable, or different sex could make you uncomfortable, or the home itself is not safe. So that hasn't happened for me yet in a home, but definitely in this rehab place. The guy this past weekend, I am younger than him. I think he's in his 70s, and he has a grandson, and that's it in his life. So he doesn't talk to a lot of people except the nurses there. And I told my boss about this, and she actually knew who I was talking about and said she wished she had told me ahead of time not to visit with him because he has made some comments to the nurses in the past, and just about that they were pretty, or he wouldn't mind hanging out in his room alone. Even though he can't do anything, it's still comments and things that shouldn't be said. So it definitely put me in a really hard place. Luckily, he needed to go to the bathroom, so I was able to transition out of our visit really quickly after he had made a comment, said something about he was looking, or I thought he was looking at my name tag on my scarf because I was wearing a scarf. So I gave him my name tag and I said, "What were you thinking when you read it?" And he said, "You don't want to know what I was thinking." So that right there was a big flag of safety for me. I don't want to ever put myself in a situation, and I know that my internship doesn't want to either. I haven't been in a situation like that yet, even with my work experience. I've been around people that throw things, destroy homes, the high behavioral, can't control their emotions. But when it comes to that sexual boundary, I get really uncomfortable because I didn't really have a lot of history of support around how to make it non-uncomfortable and addressing it right. So that's something that I'm hoping in this internship now, after that one little experience, me and my supervisor can really work together. And she does too. She really wants to work with me and help me learn if that does happen again, what would I do and how could I take a step back and either say something to the person or maybe redirect around the conversation. So if you guys have any good tips on that, that would be great. I hope everyone's doing wonderful, and I can't wait to hear your guys' videos. I wish you the best. Thanks, guys.